They banned my main girl, Soph. Bring back Soph. Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Obvious, bringing you the obvious. And today, on BitChute.com, formerly known as YouTube. Now, something terrible has happened. My main girl, Soph, has been banned off the platform. She was yeeted for telling the truth. Here on Soph's Twitter account, you can see the following. This is her official Twitter account, @SewerNugget, Soph. For those of you that don't know, Sophie is a controversial teenage girl who's been making videos since she was a little kid. In her videos, she produces satire, joking, and very intelligent commentary on the current state of society. She's a massive red pillar and has dropped massive truth bombs for everyone to see. She was well loved and approaching 1 million subscribers before YouTube decided to yeet her off the platform. They zoomed the zoomer. Here you can see. Soph says, press F to pay respects. Give @Team YouTube a hard time about it if you can. Subscribe to my motherfucking BitChute. Donate to my Patreon and buy my poppin' merch. So these are the links here. As you can see, bitchute.com/channel/Soph if you want to see her content. Now, I've actually watched a video that she got banned for, as you can see here. Hi, Soph. Our team has reviewed your content, and unfortunately, it violates our hate speech policy. How dare you tell the truth? Only we can do that. We decide what the truth is. We've removed the following content from YouTube: Pride and Prejudice. You know that this might be disappointing, but it is important to us that YouTube is a safe place for all. Unless you don't go with the narrative. If content breaks our rules, we remove it. If you think we've made a mistake, you can appeal. We won't look at it. And we'll take another look. Keep reading for more details. How your content violated the policy. Content glorifying or inciting violence against another person or group of people is not allowed on YouTube. We also don't allow any content that encourages hatred of another group or group based on membership in a protected group. Except for white people and straight people and normal people. Those aren't protected groups. You can say anything about them and you'll never get banned. But how dare you attack the left or protected groups, you know? We review educational, documentary, artistic, and scientific content on a case-by-case basis. Limited exceptions are made for content with sufficient and appropriate context, and where the purpose of the posting is clear. So, as you can see, YouTube doesn't actually give a damn. Okay. If you're a wrong thinker, you'll get a warning, you'll get a strike. Bad shit will happen to you. Every single time. They don't care about context, they don't care if you're telling the truth, and especially if you're telling the truth and it goes against their agenda, they will yeet you off the platform. Bring back my girl Soph. Here Nick Cellstorm says, F. So this seems to be breaking news. This barely just happened, and no one is really talking about it, so I'm gonna talk about it, because we need to bring back a girl Soph. She was yeeted off the platform unlawfully, wrongly. It is truly a crime. So what was actually in the video that she got taken down for? Well, it was very simple. It was a video called Pride and Prejudice. And in that video, she discusses the truth. She mentions STIs and rates of abuse and the Pride movement. She levies a heavy criticism against the Pride movement and the degeneracy that's being promoted and normalized. You know, like, I don't even know if I can directly mention it, but let's just say she criticized all of the bad things, all of the negatives that come with the Pride movement. They're all factual, they're all true, there's a lot of evidence behind most of them, and she levies heavy criticism. She mentions that children are being endangered, children are being abused, they're trying to brainwash the next generation. She mentions medical studies and statistics, and she basically drops a lot of facts and truth bombs. But you know, content like that is too much for YouTube these days. It's not enough. You can't tell the truth, you know? It's not right to tell the truth, apparently. And you know, Soph is no stranger to controversy. They've been trying to stop her and silence her for a long time. Here is an excerpt from an interview Soph did.
YouTube and law enforcement work closely together, and they have to take those sorts of things seriously, and a lot of people were calling in pretending to think those threats were serious so they could bring me harm and cause more trouble for me.
Now, is this something that you've dealt with before, people threatening you because of your videos, or was it only after the Be Not Afraid video?
It was only after that video. I had a large audience, but nobody in the mainstream or anybody out to get me had their eyes on me before.
And nobody had ever labeled you as hate-based videos or targeted you for censorship or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, a little bit before, there was another YouTuber who sort of came after me, trying to call me alt-right, trying to call me a racist. I ended up debating him, and he pretty much agreed that I wasn't by the end of it. So that was the only real instance of that before.
Now, what?
So as you can see, they've come after her before and they finally got her. You know, there's a post on 4chan that I think is very relevant. I'm going to find it. Here it is. This post is by Anonymous. There's a general phenomena I've noticed on the internet. Any forum with free speech and little to no moderation becomes right-wing. Leftist ideals cannot exist without censorship and moderation. This is why we've started seeing armies of paid shills trying to flood spaces with their talking points. And that is the big truth here. Any forum with free speech eventually will become right-wing, because the best ideas win, and leftist ideas often do not work in real life. They are good in theory, but bad in practice. Leftism cannot exist without censorship and moderation, and by censoring people who speak out against the lies in our society, this is how they censor and moderate. They deplatform individuals like my girl Sophie, and they take her down and keep her from speaking because they fear what she has to say. To determine the true rulers of any society, all you must do is ask yourself this question: who is it that I am not permitted to criticize? Strom. This is a quote that's often attributed to Voltaire. However, it was Kevin Alfred Strom who said this, and what he meant was, if you want to know who the true rulers of the society are, look around and ask, who aren't you allowed to criticize? Those are the rulers. Those are the overlords. Those are the oppressors. Now, I think it's absolute bull that our main girl Soph got censored off YouTube, off the platform. I encourage everyone to make a case to @Team YouTube to bring her account back, to bring her content back, to bring the truth back to YouTube. They think they can keep getting away with it. And there's some lines in the video that I would like to highlight. First, Soph says, "It's not tolerance you have, it's weakness." And this has exactly been my point about the left, about Silicon Valley, and about big tech. They are full of the weak. They can't protect their ideals with free speech and debate. That is why they censor. She also says, please don't take this away from me, because if you take this away from me, I'll have nothing left to live for. And people with nothing left to live for are dangerous. And that is probably the biggest point. By silencing people's voices, you're only creating a more dangerous society, because more people will feel oppressed, more people will go to what's being censored, it's called the Streisand effect, and more people will trust you, the one in power, less and less. And that pretty much sums up this story, friends. Bring back Soph.
But if you talk about it, oh, you're what are you, a sex phobe? They call you a homophobe, they call you a hater. If you control the children, you control the next generation. If you sexualize the children, you enslave the next generation with sex. And then you have the operatives fucking troll the boards. You have the news sites on your side, they troll it for you, they spin it in the light that you want. Everything's trolled now.